Street and said, what was it Deborah McCormack was out with? He said, could be the shoulder, could be just the fact that she's an old lady now.
Time off. Yeah.
She'll be grateful for that.
Yeah.
She's brilliant for them, really solid in the line out, always plays really well, always gives good go forward and works really hard around the park as well, so good to see her back for sure. Opportunity for them both to go up against each other as well. Obviously both have been training extremely well in for England in camps recently, so really looking forward to seeing this battle and love the fact they're on the same wing.
Yeah, they are right down each other's channels. McDonald, one of England's newer internationals, part of England's squad in November.
Advantage.
Gets that away through Goulden. Now looking for the little ball back inside. That worked well. Clark is the dummy runner on the short side. McCormack getting in with the tackle. McDonald on the halfway, looks to the left. Little bobbling ball along the floor. Waterman's tearing after that.
No advantage.
Two players have gone careering in and ended up falling over.
Okay, no advantage. We're going back to the scrum penalty, ladies.
There's no damage
Not
done
driving straight.
to Jade Mullen.
Must say square scrum time.
Fair play, Jade Mullen. I thought for all money she might have stayed down on that one, but brilliant change of tactic, dribbling it along the floor as you said. Really good chase. Obviously that's been communicated from outside in. Really good chase from Waterman. I'm sure had a part to play in that. Advantage coming as well, so it was a shot to nothing really. Good covering from Mullen as well.
Pause there, ladies.
Good play all round.
Here we are. Yes, ladies.
Here we see it again. Nice low little grubber, great chase. Working hard, an absolute body on the line there from Mullen.
It's a little bit Keystone.
You can see how concerned the girls are, cowl over her, just making sure she's actually all right.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit Keystone Cox as well, wasn't it? Body on the ground. Two players falling over the top.
Queen's edge of the mark, thank you.
Lizzie Goulden digging Wasps into that far side. Trying to give them a chance to build from this line out. They've got to get the line out right. Hannah West already shown that.
Yes, good, thank you.
She's good in the loose a couple of times. Dummies left and right, but it's not worked out for Wasps, but they're under a fair amount of pressure here.
Scrum advantage.
Knocked on initially by Quins.
We've got two
Wasps will have the scrum.
Two knock-ons, apologies. Called scrum.
Really good pressure again from Harlequins in the line out. Obviously Wasp with the overthrow. Good pick at the back. And really good pressure from McDonald trying to get on that ball. Forces the knock on. And another good attacking opportunity from Wasp. Right now though, they are thinking we need to finish because they've had all the pressure, they've had all the territory. They need to be getting this ball over the line. Points on the board somehow.
Big squeeze from the Harlequins pack, but it hasn't deterred Wasp's ambition to try and go down that short side. Danielle Waterman looking to use that trademark fend, but good strength to bring her over the whitewash, and it'll be a Harlequins line out. And just see Nolly Waterman just having a chat there about what she wants to try and make that space work.
Yeah, matched well there by Jess Breach. Obviously got on the outside of Scott, but Abby Dow's just overrun her slightly. Not sure where the communication was there, but obviously that gap's gone, so then there's no other option, which means Jess Breach can just drive into Danielle Waterman. She knows that she's got no other option but to run, and really good defence from her. Good opportunity to pick it, and good leg drive to get her over the whitewash.
Just wanted a little more depth, didn't she, so that Dow could still be an option to cut back on the inside.
Yeah, definitely. And as you're kicking across, as Danielle's kicking across there, Waterman's kicking across, I imagine she wanted Abby Dow on a little switch line, which is probably what she was communicating to her.
No, they're just tidying her up. Happy? Good, thank you.
Oh, Chloe Edwards has
right, ladies,
been bunged up by the looks of it.
Not sure if you heard that over the ref mic, but I'm pretty sure I heard Leanne telling the girls at the scrum, the props, that they're actually boring in. So great chat, love that from Scrum House. Love ref and scrums, it's brilliant.
McCormack was almost left to fend for herself there as she came crashing down, but it was a solidly one line out.
Penalty advantage.
And there you hear penalty advantage coming, Nikki O'Donnell. And there it is.
4, binding.
Penalty's been given against Casey Allen. I have to give a shout out to Casey, incredibly helpful for a commentator doing their prep this week. Sent me the team sheet with a ton of notes on it before I'd even made contact with her, so very grateful to Wasps Casey Allen for all of her help this week.
Yeah, she's a good one. She's one of those amazing club players that always gets stuck in, is always around, always helping everyone else out, so great to see her doing so well for them. She could have sent it me as well though.
Sorry, I didn't share that mine of information I was given. Quins just taking their time to go in and form this line. Comes towards the back. Zoe Sainer couldn't quite get a hand on it. And now it's a really good break immediately from McDonald. Oh, McDonald fending with the left hand on Jess Breach. McDonald to go all the way and get the game's opening score. What a try from Wasps. The Harlequins, perhaps a couple of questions to answer defensively. Great break from the scrum half, and what a finish.
Absolutely unbelievable finish, wasn't it? Wondered why she was in at the back of the line now. Normally, traditionally, you'd have your 7 sat there, but when you're going to do things like that, of course, why not? Brilliant pace off the mark. I said earlier how rapid she was. Missed tackle by Packer. Jess Breach has just gone too high. Brilliant work to fend, and a lovely little dive to finish it off. Look what it means to them as well. We said that they needed to get points from all of this pressure, all of this territory. Didn't think it would be so individual in terms of how they've played so far, but absolutely fantastic finish by McDonald.
Yeah, Alice Sheffield, one of the first ones to come in and congratulate on her 100th club appearance. Now the chance to add the 2 points. Goulden begins the run up. He's not going to get there on that occasion.
Here we go, we get to look at this wonder score again. Brilliant pace off the mark. Just got too much gas for the covering defenders. And look what it means to her as well.
You can see Jess Breach just holding up the left hand a little bit, almost to apologise to the teammates as to not having made a bigger impact closer to the line.
It's just one of those, isn't it? If someone's got a good fend, you go too high. But yeah, she'll be disappointed in that. I imagine she'll make up for that later in the game.
Yeah, we know she's certainly got the firepower. Quins try and go straight down the middle. Waterman gets the ball away. Wasps looking dangerous again. Packer went for the tackle, but has missed her. And Wasps have done well to keep this one in field. McDonald gets the players out the way. They try and ship it on quickly through Mitchelson. And they're clearing Harlequins out admirably. Nora Baltravite. Played in New Zealand, in Auckland. Tough old school second row. Waterman just wanted to hold that up for a minute, but a big hit on Tova Dirk.
Penalty
Dirk
advantage.
is thrown to the floor, but there's a penalty advantage coming. Goulden senses the opportunity to put the little chip through and turn Harlequins, but they'll come back for the
6 Quins off feet.
penalty, and it is against Sam McCarthy for going off her feet.
6 Quins beyond the ball.
Again, I know the advantage was coming, but just lovely play by Goulden. That game management. Look at this run as well. Leg drive through contact, absolutely on the money. Presentation so good as well. And McDonald there super quick to get the ball away.
Wasps 5, Harlequins 0. McDonald. Goulden. He's going to look to try and get this over to the far touchline. Is it going to go all the way? Yes, it is, just about. There's a little chat. Bench for the National Academy against Canada. 85 points this season, Lizzie Goulden. Played every game. And the other one in the side who's featured in every game so far, or started every game, is Hannah West, the hooker. It's going to be West to try and set Wasps on their way again. Haven't seen too much of Harlequins down the other end of the field just yet. Lucy Packer found wanting defensively a couple of times in this game so far, able to just get rid of one tackler and then present the ball. Quins are going to need to give a bit of help here. They are missing those England stars and just a bit of that experience, that big game nous. That's what Karen Finley and Gary Street will want to see. Davinia Catlin, she is one of the mainstays of the first 15. Decent aggressive forward, able to create a platform. And
2 Wasps offside.
It's West who's offside.
Offside.
Quins will have a bit more time to take the yards up the touchline through Ellie Green.
Yeah, just a couple of times Wasps are letting Quins off the hook. They're getting really good territory, real good position. Obviously the game management has been fab. McCormack in that line out, great steal, but it's all Wasps need to do is just hold their feet. Don't give away the silly penalties because you're giving them easy territory. Let's see what Quins can do when they have to exit, when they have to complete an exit set. Let Wasps counter-attack. Bit of fun on the bench there.
Ellie Green making that clearance for this line out. Turned 18 last Sunday, second highest point scorer in the Premier 15s to Kelly Smith. Quins get that right. They're still going, but Wasps managed to rescue that one. Didn't see how that happened, but nevertheless, into the hands of Maud Muir, just outside the 10-metre line. McDonald gets quick ball. Cowell was right up there, and that was really good awareness from the winger to try and shut that down before Wasps could get going. It effectively put Wasps back by about 10 metres there, defensively from Cowell, looking for the turnover there as well. Good run from Belt to right again. Now over the 10-metre line, Rocky Clark just rolls and presents that once more for McDonald. And then Goulden, right-footed, looks to try and get a bit more territory downfield, but Jess Breach was well positioned for that one, gets the call on the outside. Waterman in with the hit. Going to have to try and protect that. Waterman's got to get herself out of there. And then Packer. Chloe Edwards helping provide the platform. Packer again. Then they look to shift the ball back in field.
Advantage 9 offside. Number.
There's an advantage now being played against McDonald, a little too keen defensively. The volume goes up here as Quins think they've charged that one down successfully. Baltravite is going to have to acknowledge
midfield offside,
that there is a penalty. Let's just have another look and see this little turnover. Looked like Quins had possession all day long.
Yeah, and by the reaction of the players out there, I'm not sure how legal it was. We'll just try and work it out as this plays through.
I think it was Hannah West. I think it was Hannah West who got herself in a decent position. Packer just manages to swat away the attentions of Mitchelson. Nearly get through the gap. Now they go again down the same way. Quick hands for Jess Breach. Breach breaks one tackle into the 22. Haven't seen Harlequins up in this area of the field too much so far this half. Ball is shipped on from Zoe Sainer and into Fee Fletcher, the skipper. Catlin, you can hear running around the corner there, possibly through the ref mic. Hit me, hit me. And another drive.
Thank you, thank you.
Dixton waits.
Advantage.
There's another penalty advantage coming to Quins. Having a bit more of it in the last couple of moments. Then the ball's ripped away. We will have the penalty, and it's against Claire Purdy.
3 goals, never onside.
Can you get it?
Again, for me, when they're picking and going like that, there's no need to have a foot offside. Just take an extra step. Don't give them any opportunity to go. Ellie Green has been lightning off the boot this season. She has been absolutely fantastic with her place kicking. Was on Game Changers this week talking through it, but
just have a chat with
brilliant kicker of the ball. Don't give her any opportunities to get back in the game, because for me, Wasps have had all of the possession, and the only thing letting them down at the minute is their discipline.
Thanks, Shep.
Probably commentator's curse now. I hope she gets this one.
Chance here for Green. Gary Street thinks she could be a possible future England scrum half with a decent career ahead of her. Brilliant from Green. 3 points on the board. And with Wasps having missed the conversion earlier, just 2 points between the sides now.
Tackle, so we can't play through.
It's a good battle, isn't it? To and fro in. I just want to see when Wasps get the pressure, when they're using their game management as well as they are, just be squeaky clean now. For the next 10 minutes, be squeaky clean. See if Quins can exit, see what Quins have to offer, and then we'll go from there.
Well, we'll see what happens as Goulden goes for the restart. Goes a little deeper. Doesn't allow the forwards to compete directly for it, but they can put plenty of pressure on Vixton as she looks to tie it up. Catlin, nice little running in and out line from Catlin. Just doing enough with the footwork to get around those first two tacklers. Little soft hands then as well from Chloe Edwards, and the ball presented by Saina. It's a long ball over the top, looking to find Cowell. Fens one, comes back in field. Harlequins just struggling to find the gaps at the minute, and it's testament to the home side's defence. So they go a little deeper now, and ball is kicked downfield into the hands of Waterman, who gets the call on the left shoulder from Dow, perhaps having responded to what Waterman wanted from her earlier in close quarters. Then it's popped up again. That's nice for Kate Alder.
Hold. Two.
McDonald back in field.
Ball is out the front, ladies.
McDonald again. Quins having to defend now. Waterman with quick hands once more. That was really nicely on, but picked up beautifully by Jess Breach, and Breach is away now. What a sensational bit of picking off from Jess Breach, and we know how dangerous she can be once she starts to put her foot on the gas. Harlequins onto the score sheet and into the lead, and that is classic Jess Breach.
Yeah, brilliant bit of play from her. As a winger, it's always so difficult to read that intercept, because if you miss it, chances are numbers are over. Obviously, they still had two players outside. Brilliant bit of play, just read that offload so well. She's had three players to defend, if not. Brilliant footwork and little fend, and there is no catching her when she gets into her stride.
Well, I have to say, as she started to go, Natasha Hunt next to me in commentary waved her on. She basically just waved bye-bye at Jess Breach when she was only a metre away, because, well, having played alongside her on the Sevens circuit, fairly familiar with the sort of pace that she has. Ellie Green adds the extras.
Not necessarily played alongside her, played against her and had to chase her around the field. I think that's the one.
As long as the ball's at the front,
yeah, lovely little leg drive through the contact, and brilliant change of direction, and then just clean set of heels, isn't it? Can't defend it when you've got pace like that. Absolutely brilliant try from her.
Ball carriers available to tackle.
We're a little surprised that Harlequins will no doubt be looking to get the ball into her hands, seeing as they're missing the likes of Cornwall, the likes of Burford in midfield. Shauna Brown, Abby Scott, of course Leanne Riley here as water girl today. Goulden. Oh, Vixen's just knocked that one forwards.
Ladies, we've got two knock-ons.
Knocked on by Wasps, so we couldn't play the advantage. So we'll have to take the scrum from the first knock.
Such a killer as a coach. As soon as you get up on the score sheet, is all you want to do is catch the ball, retain possession, exit well. Obviously now Wasps have got an opportunity to get themselves back in the game, so big defensive set from Harlequins coming.
Well, you talked about the danger of going for those intercepts if you don't get them. It really did look like Wasps had the numbers out there as well, didn't it? If they could have got out, you know, maybe Quins might have had the numbers to play a drift defence, but certainly Wasps were on the front foot and looking dangerous, so to suddenly find themselves 7 points down, having been in a positive position, can be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the footwork that Danielle Waterman has, she's creating so much space in those outside channels, because the Quins defence are very aware of that, and they're trying to mark her up really, really well. So the timing of her pass at the minute is really, really impressive for me, creating space for those outside channels, and I'm sure that will come off for them soon.
Just the small handling error from Wasps there.
Yeah, it's good pressure off the base by Butler. Really good tackle. Aussie international, so she knows her stuff.
Yeah, seconds in.
reckon Quins would have wanted to play that advantage as well, while those Wasps players were still a bit further back, ready to attack.
I'm sure they would.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Ball is out.
Plenty of pressure now. The tackle was almost being made on Fee Fletcher before she had the ball there. Referee happy for things to play on camera. Not held, so happy to get back to her feet. Really abrasive player defensively speaking. Haven't seen too much of her with ball in hand, but well, then there's another centre wanted to have a word to say. Kate Older with a superb drive into the tackle for Wasps. Skipper scored the opening try last week against Darlington Moden Park Sharks, and she's looking to show what she can do to try and stop Harlequins this week. Packer goes digging for it. It's going to be another penalty to Harlequins, and Wasps are really struggling to stay on the right side of the referee in terms of discipline. Oh, what a brilliant break this is from Packer. Still going. Tackle goes in. It looked like a nasty one for a moment. Packer is getting back to her feet, but there was a hand to the mouth from Natasha next to me, and I have to say I was agreeing with you. It looked like it was a tricky one as she went down, but Quins will still keep coming, and Packer is there ready to get it away after Chloe Edwards has driven it forwards. They come back to the near side. Little reverse ball back inside. Was a bit of a clash in midfield there. Packer to the left for Edwards, who was offering herself again. Gets rid of the first tackle. Combination of Purdy and Clark in there making the tackles for Wasps. Then it's away again from Green. It's gone backwards, but Wasps are the first ones to react, and Casey Allen will place it back. Purdy gets it away. It was over the head of Rocky Clark, who couldn't quite keep hold of it.
Advantage forwards by Wasps.
Knock-on ended up being from Wasps, and will result in the scrum to Harlequins, but a few people blowing quite hard after that passage of play.
Yeah, it really is. So much to comment on. I'm absolutely loving Kamara at the minute. Defensively, she has been absolutely fantastic. There she is on screen. But that line in attack, I'm so great. She's just come so hard. Got the ball, leg drive through contact. Wasps defence didn't see her coming. Fantastic opening 27 minutes for her.
If it's to sort the blood out, you can go and come back. You sure?
One thing from me, I think just potential little bit of inexperience, obviously, from Packer at 9 at the minute. What Quins are doing are going side to side, so they're going, instead of going all the way to one touch line to try and create something, get numbers on their feet, they're just going almost seesawing up the field, and I think they're just splitting their attack a little bit. So for me, I'd like to see them get a little bit more continuity, use their forwards well, go the same way, open it up for the backs to come back the other way, or vice versa.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is bring Emily Scott in as another first receiver, aren't they, and allow themselves to have both of those options, but perhaps it's actually resulting in some of the players outside them not knowing whether it's their chance to strike or not.
Yeah, definitely. Here we see that line. Brilliant bit of play, and also the awareness. Her head is looking around all the time. Awareness to get back to her feet. A little bit of extra distance as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, key extra 3 metres. That's better from combination of Fletcher and Packer. They keep this alive,
but it's forwards.
It's just gone forwards there.
Scrum.
So Wasps now will have the scrum.
Marks there, ladies. Credible feed. Stay square.
Just see the referee saying to Claudia McDonald the phrase there, credible feed. Now I like that, because a lot of people who complain about the ball being fed the wrong way, but I like the fact credible means at least if you make it look good to me, then I can go with it. That's what I'm taking from that.
Basically, they don't really pick that up anymore, do they?
They don't want to, do they?
I don't think so.
If you can sell it to me, then I'm happy for play to continue. And there we go. Gently rolled in. Now it's come straight back out the tunnel there, and Nikki O'Donnell is spot on.
Same scrum.
May have got the call down on the near side from the assistant, I think, who can just see advising.
Harlequins definitely seem to have the ascendancy in the scrum, don't they? Which is surprising to me, because the seasoned internationals of Claire Purdy and Rocky Clark, I've played behind them in scrums, and they have never gone backwards. So Chloe Edwards has been fantastic for Harlequins this season, and in many seasons before, but she's really come into her own this season. Very impressed with her, so they're getting a real good foothold in this game.
Another big drive, as you talk about there, but that one is out the back, and Mitchelson looking to try and make the yards. Casey Allen plays scrum half. West goes in to help secure it away from, well, thought it was going to be McDonald, but Ricky Clark decides to take a couple of metres and allow McDonald to fire it back to Goulden. Breach goes back. There's an option inside. It's a big drive in the tackle from Waterman. Good follow-up, such an uncompromising defender. Gets all the headlines for her footwork going forwards, but difficult to get past when she's sizing you up. Wasps have decided to try and tunnel their way through this ruck. Penalty to the home side. And that was some good harrying, good determination to try and win back that possession, and you could see
8 hands in the ruck.
the look on the face of Waterman was one of real determination.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant decision to counter-ruck there. All of the backs firing through. I think it was Older that initiated it, and just to fire through, really good decision. Like to see Quins put boot to ball on that one. Obviously, the on-rushing Wasps defence. A kick is only as good as this chase, and at the minute, Goulden is putting the ball in the right places. But if the girls aren't behind it and chasing it 100%, then it doesn't mean anything. And Wasps are really getting behind their kicking game, which is making the decision to kick even better.
Yes.
Do you think without the likes of Rachel Burford in the side, Wasps are looking at that Quins backline and thinking that they might not have too many of the boot to offer that clearance, that the likes of Breach and Scott are more likely to try and run it?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, both of them have got big boots on it when they do decide to kick, so I reckon they definitely could look to put boot to ball, and I'm sure that'll be something that will be spoken about.
Advantage 9, hold.
Wasps looking to pick and go, do the close quarter stuff. Was that almost a suggestion of a knock-on? It's been held up as Purdy goes for the line.
Time off.
Solid work from Ellie Green to get under that.
So at the line out, first we've got 6 taking the lifter. We've then got number 2 collapsing them all. I need a change in behaviour here. Talk to your players.
So despite the fact that Wasps have been on the wrong side of the referee's whistle discipline-wise for much of the game, in this key area, the warning comes to Harlequins.
2 collapsing.
Good to hear such clarity on that as well. Taking the lifter, obviously not something you want to be seeing in case that's where serious injuries can happen, so really well refereed there.
Now Purdy would have thought for all her money that she was going to score.
Ladies, Quins out with the space. Wasps create the space.
Ellie Green doing really well to get under it.
Yeah, 18-year-old putting your body on the line, fair play.
McCormack tries to tap it down, but it's just ended up into the hands of Purdy.
Hold.
Having attempt number 2. Rocky Clark will fancy chances, but she slipped.
Ball is there, hold.
She's driven to the ground by her own players, wouldn't she?
I think she might have been, yeah. Now then, big drive on. Louise Dodd is in there. McDonald. They're looking to try and do this route one through the forwards. Are they down and over the line? Referee says held up once again.
Scrum.
Harlequins doing just enough.
Scrum.
And I think it was Khadija Camera. Once again, let's have a look. We're right behind her here.
Box here, ladies.
Goodness me, what strength.
Great.
French centre's done brilliantly.
Yeah, great positioning as well. She's obviously gone underneath, used her legs as almost a hinge to get them back up and hands underneath the ball. So fantastic strength there.
She's not got the strongest looking legs either, is she? Just able to have done the job there. It's a bit of a point to prove against the club that she wasn't quite getting the run at centre with.
Early, apologies, I didn't see it. Early.
Given the free kick there, referee apologises. They've gone route one again. Is Sarah Mitchelson over the line? Ball is there. Now they go again. Base of the post. That looks like it must be the score, is it?
Ladies,
Nikki O'Donnell.
ladies, I'm unsighted. It's your scrum. I'm unsighted.
Going back for the scrum. Well, was perhaps a little unlucky there.
Yes, that's what the
Maud
free kick
Muir
was.
might have thought she'd scored it.
Do you think she could shout over to us in the truck and we could let her know on the replay?
Early, not one.
Oh, I don't know actually, but it looks like she might be under that.
Yeah, she might be.
Good positioning from the ref.
Hasn't quite found the base of the post, certainly on that first angle, and we won't look too hard at the rest of them because we've come back for the scrum anyway.
Crouch!
Honestly, from the referee, unsighted, had to bring them back to the scrum in that scenario. No TMO today, of course, despite the fact we have the benefit of a referee. The break again, Mitchelson looks to get it away for Waterman, then on the outside for Abby Dow, and you could see Waterman screaming with delight as she gave the ball, knowing that Dow was in. Worked brilliantly from 15 to 14, and Wasps will get themselves back into the lead if they can slot this conversion.
I mentioned it earlier, didn't I, about the timing of Danielle Waterman's passing, but absolutely brilliant on this. I would have paid so much money to the fact that Waterman would have just gone herself then, but absolutely fantastic play. 2v1, just really great execution, and Abby Dow's in the corner.
Yeah, drew that last defender brilliantly, didn't she, Danielle Waterman? Just one score in the league this season, so wouldn't have deprived her of the chance to go for another one, but
no, we're good, mate.
It was very nice indeed from the former England fullback. He's hosting the Six Nations launch on Wednesday alongside Will Greenwood. Giselle Mather prowling the touchline with the clipboard there. So not the easiest conversion for Goulden. Not a bad effort, but it won't quite come round for her. So we are all square, 10 points apiece. Let's have another look at this one, Natasha.
Yeah, good picking from the 8, and like I said, just brilliant timing of the pass. Look what I mean to them as well.
I love Waterman's punch of the air, even before the ball's gone to ground. Got a bit of sunshine now. Handling error from Wasps. That will frustrate Giselle Mather. And there's an instant advantage now for Harlequins. Camera with the carry. Plays that back in field for Fletcher. Packer comes down to this side. Combination of Green and Vixton. Packer again, then Green, then Catlin. Good drive from her once again. Catlin's been a key part of Harlequins go forward at key moments of the game, maintaining their momentum up to the 22. Packer back in field. Clark looking to approach Edwards with the tackle, but that's a really good drive from Wasps as the ball is given out. One further pass. Catlin off to the right. Isn't going to be used though. Green waits on the outside, gets that ball back in field. Needed to be tidied up, and there was the heroic dive on it.
Wasps! Thank you. Hold.
McDonald just in the backfield for Wasps. Catlin just got scragged, felt the pressure of the Wasps team, at least sensibly held on to that, but Harlequins are going backwards a little. McCormack senses a chance to make some yards around the fringes as there's nobody there. Edwards helps come in and provide the guard. Then there's the pick from Sam McCarthy, former Richmond player, who do the basics well. Chloe Butler.
First man.
Wasps are in, trying to bring that ball back. It is slow ball for Harlequins, but it will be the penalty for the home side.
Stop. 9. Stop.
Claudia McDonald is warned by the referee. She's trying to get that ball super urgently, but great work from Wasps to nullify what was building momentum.
Yeah, it really was, and fair play. Catlin, McCormack and Butler, for me, are getting through a ton of work for Harlequins at the minute. Really big carriers. Catlin then, how she managed to still go forward even though she had 4 people around her. Brilliant bit of play by her, and fantastic, again, defensive set from Wasps. To be fair to McDonald, it is so frustrating as a 9 when you want to go quick when their body's on the floor and someone's just lying over it. So I feel her pain there.
Someone on the floor going, oh, she's blowing the whistle, I might just stay here for a minute.
They know what they're doing.
Ladies, time is yours. Time is yours. Let's go.
So just heard the referee there say time is yours. So I think that may suggest to us that Nicky O'Donnell's watch is showing the 40 minutes for the first half is up. Older. Looking for Mitchelson in midfield. Then away from Clark. Oh, needed a really good pick-up off the bootstrings from Louise Dodd, and she got it, but then it's been ripped. And Jess Breach is on one knee, needs to release that. Packer, not under too much pressure. Then away from Butler.
Away 5.
And Harlequins have now got the ball in a key area of the field. If they could maintain possession and get a score before the break, they would certainly love to go in with their noses in front. All square as it is currently. Our clock also in the red now. And the ball is there for Packer. But in fact, Vixen's going to be the one to go. A little bit isolated to begin with. Maud Muir gets herself back to her feet. Then Edwards will pick. Dragged to the ground by Rocky Clark with all of her experience. Packer again looking at that short side. And then they find Camera, ships it on again. 22. Fletcher.
Arrive up, Quins!
Abby Dow trying to rock them over there, but it's still with the visitors. Edwards brilliantly driven back by Hannah West, and the knock on, and now the pick up from Muir, and it's with the home side once again, and they might sense a chance to go quickly here, but McDonald can't get hold of the ball.
Ladies, stop.
It wasn't the cleanest.
We've got 2 knock-ons.
It's 2 knock-ons. That will wrap up the first half with a slightly frustrated Claudia McDonald once again, unable to get her hands on it, but there were 2 handling errors, so that will wrap up the first 40. Well, what a game we have seen. We were promised an absolute humdinger, and it is turning out to be that way, Natasha Hunt. 10 points apiece at the break.
Yeah, 10 points apiece, and to be fair, really, I think it's fair for it. Quins are going really well. Obviously, haven't had a lot of possession, haven't had a lot of territory, but the ball that they have had, they've done really well. Waston, on the other hand, have put all the pressure, all the territory, just cannot find a way to get over that line. So yeah, really setting up to be a great second half, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, we hope you're enjoying our coverage, whether you're watching on the England Rugby Facebook page, the YouTube channel, or on Premier15s.com. And of course, that's where you can go to get all of the fixtures and results and the table, and of course the features that go out over the course of every week. Of course, we will stop for a little break in terms of the Premier 15s as the Six Nations takes hold, just a couple of rounds after this weekend, and well, all to play for, and well, all to play for in the next 40 minutes here. If you are just joining us, then let's bring you up to date with what's happened in that first half. Plenty to enjoy, despite there just being the 3 tries. You can see Claudia McDonald with the first one here.
Yeah, fantastic pace, isn't it? Picks up the ball, great pick up off the floor, and then she just puts the afterburners on, fends one, steps another, leg drive through the contact, really just backing herself. I love seeing 9s when they run like this, back themselves. Obviously having a 9 that can do stuff like this as well is massive for that team. It's
a 30-metre run-in with about 5 defenders around her, so arguably Quins will look at themselves a little bit about this one, despite the brilliance of McDonald.
Yeah, potentially. It looked like Emily Scott was accelerating to make the hit there, and then she just beats 3, doesn't she? Great dive over, and you can see what it means to her on her face. Fantastic finish.
So try from McDonald wasn't converted, and then we had the penalty from Ellie Green, and then that intercept from Jess Breach, and this was the moment Mo Hunt waved her goodbye.
Yeah, I knew as soon as she had this ball in her hand, stepped the first one, then fended the second, that there was no catching her. Brilliant pace, absolutely backed herself, and there's nobody that's going to catch Jess Breach when she's at full flight.
No.
Great decision to come off her wing as well, because they were really struggling. Obviously defenders folding in behind, but brilliant decision to go for the intercept. She read it like an absolute dream, and great finish.
So conversion from Green, and Quins, having been 5 points down at that point, found themselves 5 points to the good. But then there was plenty of opportunity for Wasps as they were knocking on the door. They were held up. That was the brilliant defence of Khadija Camera. We were discussing the influence that she's had on the game, and here we see it again from the rear angle. The Quins 12 hinges down, gets her backside under it, and stops Sarah Mitchelson getting the score.
Yeah, what I love about that as well is you can see her so alert to what's going on in the backfield. She's got her eyes up, she's looking, she's calling her players in from the left-hand side. She wants them tighter, she wants that support, and just brilliant play. Again, you see Chloe Butler, body on the line. You can't ask for more. Brilliant bit of play.
You can see her shaking her head at the referee there as well to say this isn't down, I'm in the way. but eventually the dam burst and Abby Dow gets in at the corner after Jess Breach was feeling that Nolly Waterman was the bigger threat. She bit in and the try came in on the outside.
Yeah, and it's just lovely timing of the pass. Danielle Waterman would have done this time and time again in her career on the training field, just trying to look forward, see the shoulders turn from that defender, and fantastic timing of the pass. She creates that try for me. Good finish by a good holding of a run by Abby Dow, but that try for me goes down to Danielle Waterman.
And not to call out Jess Breach there either, because it was more the fact that, you know, your first job as a rugby three-quarter is to try and beat your player on the outside, which it looked to all intents and purposes that Nolly Waterman had done. So Breach really sensing the opportunity to come in and help her defence out, but it then allowed Dow in on the outside. What a battle there is between Abby Dow and Jess Breach in that wing slot as well, both against each other, with of course England's selection taking place this week ahead of them facing Ireland in Donnybrook. And well, it is a big week. It is a lovely time of year for anybody that enjoys their rugby, because well, the Six Nations is upon us and England's Red Roses will be feeling like they have a score to settle.
You know what I mean, 'cause I play my game. You can't hold me back, it's driving you insane. Train, sleep, repeat, let's go for the rest of my life.
Buy tickets today indeed. England open their campaign then against Ireland in Donnybrook on Friday, but in terms of the home games that you can get along to, against France in Castle Park in Doncaster on the 10th of February, that arguably the game of the championship. Take nothing away from the rest of the opposition, and of course Ireland will have something to say next week, but that 12:45 game, get yourselves down there, create Doncaster Castle Park as a fortress. We have the French, of course, who set the tone in terms of their fan parks and the amount of people they get to their games, but that's the big one. Then Italy on the 9th of March, 12:05 from Sandy Park in Exeter, and against Scotland, that one of course follows the men's game, Calcutta Cup. Could that be a Six Nations decider for the men, followed by similar for the women? What a lovely double that would be. Hashtag show up, and if you're looking to get hold of tickets for those games, well, it's englandrugby.com/tickets where you need to be heading in for that one. Just also a quick apology if you heard any bad language over the course of the last few moments of that game, then we do need to apologise. We don't want the regulators getting on our backs. It might have just come through with a little bit of over-exuberance through the referee's microphone. But yes, it's been a busy week, of course, with the Six Nations launching at the Hurlingham Club on Wednesday as the men's and women's tournaments were launched. Here's what Captain Sarah Hunter had to say to our very own Nathan Middleton.
As soon as this event comes round, you know, it's not too far around the corner now. I think since the autumn we've sort of been waiting for the Six Nations to come. We've done a lot of training and now we're sort of itching at the bit to get out there.
You've been in camp in Bisham, of course, for a few weeks. How have preparations been?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, now we're contracted, we've had more preparation than we have normally. So, you know, it gives us time to go through things that we might not normally have time to get through before the opening Six Nations game. So, yeah, so some tough training sessions we've had, and no doubt we'll have some more ahead of us before we get off to that first game in Ireland next week.
You've had some big names come back from Sevens, some big names returning from injury as well. What's kind of the squad looking like? Because it looks to some real quality in there. Yeah,
absolutely. Obviously, like you say, we've had Emily Scarrett, Natasha Hunt, Jess Breach come back from Sevens, which obviously adds a lot to us, and we're building on from our awesome squad back last year, and it's that feeling of we're still trying to sort of build the team that we want to be and how we want to play. So yeah, although we've got these full-time contracts and we've got this sort of really exciting new look squad, we're very much in that period of like building and gelling together. So hopefully, like, more time that we have, more games we play, we'll get better and better.
You're taking the Red Roses across the country in Yorkshire, Devon and of course Twickenham Stadium. How much looking forward to just, I guess, travelling to new audiences?
Yeah, brilliant. I think the fact that we went to Doncaster in the autumn was great, and going back there, it's almost like a sense of familiarity, and the crowd was absolutely like fantastic. You know, it got really like behind us, and there was a real sense of atmosphere there. And I think the Southwest is obviously a hotbed for rugby, and you know, to take us around the country and showcase what the Red Roses are all about, and generate interest and generate a fan base. So wherever we go in the country, whether that's Twickenham, whether that's Doncaster, Sandy Park, maybe somewhere else in the future, you know, people want to come and support us, and I think we're now starting to see that wherever we go, you see the familiar fans that are there supporting and cheering us on.
Great to hear from the England captain, and well, as we mentioned, those home games for the Red Roses. englandrugby.com/tickets. Those are the fixtures: February the 10th, March the 9th and March the 16th. And other games that you can get tickets for: the clash in the Gallagher Premiership, Bristol Bears against Bath Rugby, Saturday the 6th of April, a 2 o'clock kickoff. I think that might be someone's 30th birthday, Natasha Hunt. Anyway, Tyrrells Premier 15's final, that is also on the horizon, the end of April, Franklin's Gardens in Northampton, a 5:45 kickoff for that one. And of course we've got plenty more live streams coming for you as well over the course of the next few weeks, including those Tyrrells Premier 15's semi-finals. But March the 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday, those are the Schools Cup semi-finals at Allianz Park, the under-18s and the under-15s over that weekend. Then the 19th and 21st, Tuesday and Thursday of that week in March, the under-15 and under-18s Schools Cup Playton Bowl finals at Sixways, and the 15s and 18s Schools Cup and Vars finals at Twickenham. Saturday, March the 30th, well, we're back into the Tyrrells Premier 15s, Harlequins against Gloucester Hartpury women. No doubt Natasha Hunt alongside me will be gagging to play in that and have a go at Leanne Riley or whether it's going to be Lucy Packer. We will find out closer to the time. And then mid-April, those two Tyrrells Premier 15 semi-finals, both of them will be live here on the England Rugby channels. We're looking forward to bringing you both of those, myself and Nathan Middleton. And then we have the under-18 club, under-15 and under-18 girls club finals on at Sixway Stadium on May the 5th. And the RFU Club and Under-20 Finals Day at Twickenham Stadium. Plenty for you to put into your diary, and I hope you have, because we look forward to having your company for all of those. Now, Natasha alongside us, great to have you with us. Of course, recently making the move back to 15s and moving to Gloucester Hartpury. And well, I think let's have a chat in just a moment. But here are some of the highlights from the really tight game it turned out to be down at Gloucester Hartpury against Saracens last weekend.
A bit of confusion there between the 8 and no then.
Large on the ball, lovely flighted pass, Tatiana Hurd with a straight line, streaking towards the try line in the opening minute. She spills away, dives over the line, wonderful fly from Tatiana Hurd, hit the line of Kerry Large, first breakaway of the game, and that international quality from Hurd under the shadow of the post in the floodlights. Harrison again trying to get the back line going, long looping pass, really good pass as well, and a stroll in for Sarah McKenna. Saracens level it up with one try apiece. Katie Dugan here driving towards the line, dead centre of the pitch. Hunt again, good quick ball for Large, looking to try and work it through the hands. Hurd, simple pass out, and Gloucester Hartpury with their second try, and it is Dufky Howell who goes over the full-back. Sarri's looking to strike, searching for this bonus point. Here's Hayward, Harrison gives it to McKenna, long looping pass, and there's space for Casey here on the outside. She dives over, there's the bonus point for Saracens. Thumbs up for the linesman, try awarded from the referee. Williams with the drive that time. Hunt now to Large, what can the backs produce? Kerry Large looking for Tatiana Hurd, breaking tackles, brilliant try from the inside centre to Hartpury. Large with the ball, into the middle, looks to try and throw it.
Just kick it out.
Towards Emma Singh.
Just go out.
Saracens pushed into touch, and that's the final play. Saracens have closed the game out. A bonus point win for the champions. A real difficult match here in the West Country. Gloucester Hartpury pushing them all the way.
Well, it was a very close affair, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It was so tense. I went off on 77. I was on the sideline just jumping up and down because I really thought we did it, or we were going to do it, sorry. So yeah, it was a tough one, great battle to be involved in, and fair play to the Hartpury girls. Gloucester Hartpury girls stuck in it.
How are you enjoying being back in 15s then?
Yeah, it's really good, to be fair. Like, the Gloucester Hartpury girls are really good crack, so it's really good fun. Like, I'm really enjoying training, loving the environment up there that they're creating, and it's good fun to be involved. Tough though, very, very, very different, and I am finding it tough. I found the switch pretty tough, which is probably why I'm in here this weekend and not playing.
Well, you've had 3 years of being effectively, shaped to play a game where it's all power and pace for 14 minutes, and then an hour, 45 minutes break until the next game. So suddenly having to refine find a game to go for 70, 80 minutes, it's got to be a bit of a change.
It's not even that, it's the warm-ups as well. Like, our warm-ups are about 30 minutes, so that's more than a sevens game before I've even started the game, and that's what's killing me off right now.
Yeah, I can imagine so. So other games taking place today as we continue our chat with Natasha Hunt alongside us this afternoon. Worcester Valkyries are currently being beaten by Loughborough Lightning by 12 points to 0, putting up a decent fight in that first half to have only gone down to 2, given the firepower in Loughborough, but of course they will be missing the likes of Sarah Hunter and Katie Daly-McLean this week. Emily Scarrett, though, of course, is making her first appearance there, and it's good to see her back, getting some game time, of course, to try and throw her hat into the reckoning ahead of England selection. And Natasha, of course, that's what it's all about over the course of the next week. How are you enjoying being back in the England setup as well as the teams come out?
Yeah, it's been really good fun. Like, obviously the girls are more my girls. I've grown up playing under 20s with them, been in camps with them a lot, so it's really good fun to be back there with the likes of Justine Lucas, Amy Cocaine, Katie Daly-McLean, Sarah Hunter, to name drop a few. So yeah, I'm really loving it. It's a great environment and it's good crack.
Well, it's wonderful to know that you guys are back in the 15 setup. Great to see you putting the skills out there. Just spotted Rachel Burford running up and down the sideline. She's got a radio in hand and a blue bib, so she's clearly being worked. It is great to see that all these players who are part of the club may not be playing today, but Leanne Riley, Rachel Burford still very much involved in making sure the club can perform at their best this afternoon. Wasps then coming out 10 points apiece. Nothing between the sides at the break. For Giselle Mather, what are you saying to Wasps, Natasha Hunt?
Just more of the same. For me, it's their ill discipline that's letting them down at the minute. They're getting into really great field position, they're putting the pressure on, making all the right decisions in terms of their game management, and then they're just letting Quins off the hook by giving them silly penalties. So for me, I'd be saying squeaky clean, get back foot, make sure we stay back foot, and go from there.
More of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff.
Basically. It's quite easy. Maybe we should coach them.
As they say in my touch career, just be better. You could just be better second half. It'll be great.
Do more, but better.
And if you're Gary Street and Karen Findlay, what are you saying to Harlequins?
They've taken their opportunities as well. That's what I'd be saying. More field position, play in the right areas of the field, and just build the pressure in that way. That's all I'd be saying, really.
Yeah, Quins at times have had the ball in an area of the field where it's not quite looked on, and they've slaved to go through the phases and not got too many yards out of it. So perhaps a little more intelligent kicking game might help them a little. They've got Ellie Green who's capable of it.
Yeah, definitely. Great kicker of the ball. So get her in a position to put boot to ball, and like I said before, it's that chase that's so important.
Not now, 7.
So I think we've got a penalty coming here. I thought for a moment that Casey Allen might have taken a knock on the ground there. As our ticker, we'll keep you up to date with the teams and
that's a wake-up call then. That's our wake-up call.
Who is on the field. We will do our best to keep in touch with the changes that take place. But
where you are?
Early penalty won by the home side, and Goulden will look to take the yards up the far side.
Lovely little bit of play again from Caitlin at the breakdown. Fantastic spot tackle, really low, drove in at the knee, so there's absolutely nothing that the Quins can do, and then she bounced to her feet and counter-rucked. Thought for all money they won the ball back, but unfortunately Butler had just gone in at the side before, so that's what the penalty was for.
West tapped back down by Alice Sheffield on her 100th cap for Quins. Nicola Smith looking to get 99 off the bench in the second half. Purdy plays scrum half, then it is away to her front row colleague West, and then look, the two props in Clark and Purdy make the clear out. All of them working in unison, but well, just the tiniest nudge at the bottom.
As you've got to pick it up,
Donald is looking at the referee, wondering what she's seen. No, Donald will not be moved. Smallest knock on, but it will be scrum to Harlequins.
Yeah, she's not impressed with that, is she? But loving the Claire Purdy clearing pass as well. Brilliant bit of play from her. Seeing both props make them equally as good as one another.
Straight off! Bang! Straight apart. It's alright. Same again. I'll go backwards when I'm happy.
Findlay, Street and Diprose. The brains trust of Harlequins women.
Head on head, 1.
Free kick to Harlequins, and Packer has gone quickly.
And it's got to be from your 8 if you want to play quickly.
Nicky O'Donnell.
Scrum option.
Stickler for the detail, but they're going to go for the scrum anyway.
Yeah, just that bit of inexperience potentially. Obviously, free kick at scrum time has to be taken from the back of the scrum, so normally the scrum half would feed the 8 if we want to go quickly. They can take the quick tap and get play going. So love the fact that she's trying to play quickly, but just that little bit of unknown.
Abby Scott watching on. Ball at the back. Claudia McDonald right up in the face. Brilliant work from the Wasps scrum half, and look at this quick turnover. It's allowed her side to make 20 metres up that far side, and then McDonald is straight back in there, looking to try and keep the tempo flowing. Casey Allen takes the yards. Clark goes in to help secure it. McDonald again. Then for West. Good continuity this from Wasps.
Tackle is complete.
Referee was there to say the tackle was complete. West couldn't get back to her feet there.
Not releasing.
And, well, they are going to go quickly. Harlequins with Edwards. Gets through 2 tackles, and you can see Louise Dodd calling for more support on that side. Catlin then gets the offload away. That's nicely done to McCormack. McCormack back in field. Zoe Sainer carrying it on. Then Packer's just got a little bit caught.
Off feet now, 2.
Brixton is there.
You have the ball, ladies.
And,
play on.
Chloe Butler.
Lost 8.
Is also one of those trying to get herself in there and secure possession.
No. Wait. Time off. Captain.
The referee wants to speak to Kate Alder here. Let's just have a listen.
Kate, I'm going to allow a contest, but if your players go off their feet and deny competition, you're limiting what I can do. Have a chat, please.
Yep.
Really clear comms from Nicky O'Donnell. One of the best out there.
Thank you, Captain.
Love that little bit of interplay between Caitlin, McCormack and Sainer. All of them looking for those offloads. Quins are clearly trying to play a really attacking game. Get in behind the Wasps defence and then look for those offloads, keeping the ball alive.
Yeah, it's a slightly different game plan from both sides. We're seeing Wasps going in, setting up the contact and then forcing the clear out to then try and get cleaner ball, but Quins are looking to just try and do it between forwards and backs, keep rolling it and almost not allow the breakdown to exist for too long.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something I've noticed about Quins this season. They seem to put one maxed of 2 people in most of the breakdowns. If they're having 3 or more, they've really overcommitted from what their game plan looks to be. So they're really trying to play an exciting, fast-flowing brand of rugby, and it's paid off for them this season.
And no doubt something that is a club-wide philosophy, given that that's something that the men's side have prided themselves on for years, and that is something that Paul Gustard is looking to try and bring back. Ball has, I don't think, gone to ground there.
On ball, ladies.
Wasps will get the turnover, and they are delighted with that, understandably.
Really, really impressive play by West. For all money, it looked as though she dropped to her knees as that ball was still going and kind of brought it down. So I think she's very fortunate not to have a penalty given against her. But as Nicky is saying there, 2 was always on ball, so she'll allow it. Good defensive set again by Wasps.
A little bit of communication going on from Danielle Waterman.
Shoulder, stay square.
You can tell by this though, 8's going to pick, hit 12, or Claw's going to hit 12. They're going to go a hard line. Golden's in the pocket, ready to go. I'd like to see them try and disguise this a little bit more.
How obvious is that to you? You've said you can see that. Tell us why you can see that.
The positioning of 12. So 12's up nice and flat. Golden's just pointed at Claude, pointed at Older. Here you go. 12 carry, 13 short. They'll go straight back now to Golden in the pocket.
Penalty advantage.
Natasha Hunt with the crystal ball. Fantastic.
5 Quins, offside.
Clearly something that they practice. I know I've worked with Giselle Mather before, who's very, very structured. She likes to have an exit, she likes to have a plan, but she also loves the free flow in rugby. When you get into situations like that, I know there would be a plan, and just the positioning, that's how I knew that was going to happen.
Don't give away your secrets.
Didn't survive.
We're the ones who get to benefit. Lovely stuff. Harlequins over the 10-metre line. Sainer with the pick. Under plenty of pressure. Wasps are wanting to try and make Harlequins put more players into those breakdowns. And Vixton is driven backwards. And then it's there for Packer, who gets it away. Then the little dummy back in field from Emily Scott. That was nicely done as she pops up at first receiver. Heather Cowell. She's done really well, then plays it away for Breach, but it just went forward as the interplay was forced a little, just on top of each other, perhaps too much. But it was building from Harlequins.
Yeah, unfortunate there that Breach couldn't hold on to that ball. Looked like a really low offload and a difficult one to take, but love to see them coming off their wing and working together. So dangerous when you get two speedsters like that in attack in the same position, because who do you defend? You know, so really, really impressive to see that, and I'd like to see that a little bit more as this half progresses.
Talking to Gary Street during the week, he advised me it might be something to look out for, almost encouraging that sense that you see from one of the best exponents in the men's game, Chris Ashton. Hunt for the ball, get in there, be dangerous, and if your other wing's on your shoulder, then you might have more of a chance of causing some problems for the defence. Emily Scott using the footwork to come forwards into the 22. Then it's there for Packer, then Edwards into Rochelle Clark. Plenty of energy generated from that hit. Ellie Green, that's really nice from the 10, spotting that opportunity to run rather than give it. Now they go back to the short side from whence it came, but the ball's going to bobble into touch, and well, frustrating from a Quins point of view, because it was lovely from Green to set up that platform.
That's your mark.
Yeah, love that from Green. What she did is she just waited, let the defence come up. They almost just went past her, and then she just slipped through the gap. Really, really good patience on that.
Ladies, back 10.
Scott just needs somebody to nominate themselves on that as well. You've got 4 really big ball carriers coming around the corner. All you want is someone to throw their hand up, hit me, and then know that they're going to take the ball on, get that leg drive through the contact again.
West has got her arrows wrong again. Claire Purdy might try and clear it up at the back, but it's not worked for her.
Looks quite windy out there, doesn't it? That ball, I'm sure that West didn't throw it like that. She's normally so solid in the line-out for Wasps.
Yeah, there is a bit of a breeze running from right to left on your picture.
Big turning point for me in this game now. If Quins can get over the line, I'll be impressed to see what Wasps do to react to that, how they come back in.
It's a great shot here as we look over the scrum with the Quins coaches just watching on. Replacements, the game changers getting ready to make their impact.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Stay 9, thank you.
There for Packer. Come back. Big hit in the midfield. Camera does well to ride the challenge. Look at her staying on her feet. Still able to look for the options. Now Emily Scott, then through Green. Green, lovely work to get that back for Heather Cowell. Goodness me, what a pick-up from the winger. Presented for Packer from Cowell. Packer has to run back though, suddenly confronted by Hannah West, who was closing down, shutting the door as quick as possible. Quins, you feel, need to come away with points from this attack. Through the middle. Tackles go in from the Wasp centre pairing of Alder and Dodd. Packer looking to go the same way. Waterman identifying who it was that she's going to hit, but they continue to make the meters. Harlequins. Catlin offering herself this side. Oh, it's a little untidy, but it's gone backwards. Chloe Butler on the floor presenting it to her scrum half. Edwards is there, buffeted back, but Packer is still there. McCormack looking to help with the clear out to get Purdy out of the way. Then it's in the hands of Green once more. Little turn from Vixton, lovely offload back to the fly half, and then Camera with the pass, but it was wanting a little.
Thank you.
Good D. We've talked about Camera a lot in defence, but Alder at the minute for me is stepping up. She is leading this Wasp defence time and time again. The shots that she's putting in, the timing of which she's taking the shots, jumping out the line, and how powerful she is in the tackle as well. Absolutely brilliant.
I'll have a look for you.
We're being treated to some top class at Tyrrells Premier 15's action this afternoon. What a game we have.
Yeah, no worries.
Great to see Harlequins looking for a chink in the armour of the Wasps defence. They couldn't quite find it, and you could see Khadija Camera on that last run just looking for what the option might be. Am I going to go myself? Am I going to give the pass? And wonder whether she might have tried to take it on herself, but perhaps would have been a little isolated.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what the comms was outside her, because I thought for all money that she would have just carried that. She's broken nearly every tackle in the front line that she's attacked on in the first half, so I would have loved to see her tuck that out the jumper and just have a go. But yeah, not sure what was being said outside her, but again, as you said, I think it was the indecision which is potentially why that ball's just gone forward. You can see Leanne Riley there as well. Such an influential player in this Harlequins team. She's got the water bib on, and she's all mic'd up, leading the forwards like she does week in, week out for the side. Great to see her still involved.
Lucy Packer's grown into the game. Didn't have the greatest start, did she? But she's certainly looking more and more comfortable.
Yeah, she really is, and also looking to take on those guards around the breakdown. She's made a little bit of ground, and what I love to see with nines that are going to snipe, you need to get the ball away so that you're not being caught on the floor, because everyone panics when there's no nine. I don't know what it is, but everyone seems to panic. You hear everyone in the whole pitch, yeah, no nine, no nine.
Matt, have we got a ball, please?
Seconds!
Ladies, just stay up a second for the ball. There we go.
Just waiting for the ball here.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Big shove from Harlequins here, putting Wasps under all sorts of pressure. They've dealt with it well. Mitchelson brings it back. Goulden under plenty of pressure. Able to take it on the bounce is Mullen. Big tackle on her. Brilliant work from Waterman. Packer now. Oh, the handling error from Quins. And is this going to be good turnover ball for the home side? Waterman had to get that away, and Alder with a good run. Advantage over from the knock-on. McDonald to Purdy. McDonald again.
Penalty advantage.
And there's a penalty advantage now being played to Wasps, and as West was tackled, she got a brilliant offload away. Then for Casey Allen, who thought twice about releasing that off the floor. She did need to get rid of it second time. Hands on hip from Rocky Clark.
Thank you.
This was just a handling error.
Yes. Unfortunately, they're just taking the eyes off the ball, probably because Rocky Clark is rushing out of the line to come and make the hit. I mean, I'd probably take my eyes off the ball as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but unfortunate little knock on there, but love the transition speed that Wasps just had from defence into attack, straight down the short side. Again, you see Older putting loads of pace on the ball, and so often we've seen players try to offload that ball, and then obviously they've knocked on, or the next phase of play is broken down. So to see her keep hold of the ball, get the ball back as quickly as she had, fantastic from me.
Rocky Clark in the centre of your picture. I think she's looking slimmer and fitter than she ever has been.
She's an absolute hero. I know people ban that word around far too often, but for me, she really, really is.
For the ball run in place, she's like sideways next to
Okay, I'll have a look for you. We good, ladies?
Little word from Claire Purdy there. And
Happy three? Happy medic? Thank you.
Rochelle Clark just
okay, ladies,
trying to advise
off,
Nikki O'Donnell as to what the opposition are up to.
Water off.
137 England caps for Rocky
Water
Clark.
off, and I can start the game again,
You cannot say it enough. What a servant to the England shirt.
England shirt, women's rugby in general, just absolutely fantastic.
She's the general, isn't she?
She really is. And an absolute legend as well.
And was training in the snow with her Chesham Stags this week.
Yeah. Who were going really well this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were undefeated last time I spoke to them, so clearly a very, very good coach as well, her and Kat.
And Kat Merchant,
Thanks,
yeah.
Mate. See that, ladies.
So this game still finely poised. We've been treated to some great cut and thrust from both teams. But the defences have been doing well as well. Who is going to be the one to break the deadlock? If you're just joining us, Harlequins, of course, without a fair few of their England players, which will certainly have been giving Giselle Mather the feeling that they are ripe for the picking this afternoon. But Gary Street and Karen Finley certainly with the message that this is a real opportunity for some of those in the second string who have been behind some of those England players to really put a marker down, and well, none least than the likes of Lucy Packer and Ellie Green, 18 years old at 9 and 10. They're quitting themselves well so far. Jess Breach has a bit of miscommunication from Quins there, two of them going in on the same ball. It hasn't proved to be too troublesome for them. Chloe Edwards is getting ready to carry into Rocky Clark, and Edwards does well. Then the clear out from Vixton, and they go again. Muir in there trying to stop things as Scott finds Catlin. Catlin, lovely feet, lovely position from the hooker.
Thanks, Matt.
But
forward pass, ladies.
The assistant has just said the pass was forwards.
Okay.
That's a shame, because it just looked so good from Catlin from this angle, didn't it?
Yeah, really unfortunate. She is not happy about it. You can see her shaking her head on the way back. And to be honest, I think I'd be a bit aggrieved as well. Didn't look forward to me.
Pardon?
But we're sat quite far away, so what can I say?
Pass, did you see anything else there?
Bit of miscommunication there. Should be doing better there, shouldn't they, at the back?
Yeah, definitely. I think both of them are so intent on catching that ball, aren't they, that Nida's very aware of what's happening. But what a carry as well from Catlin. I've said it before, but she is having an absolutely fantastic game. In the try lights last week, saw a fantastic try against Richmond, and she's really putting it about today as well.
I didn't quite get to see who was down here for Wasps.
Yeah, it's shoulder.
Good assistance there to make sure the ball got to ground from Chloe Butler, and then
20 running time.
This is the pass away to Catlin. Oh, there can't have been much in that, can there?
Yeah, really, really tight. Lovely fade on the ball as well from Scott. Earlier they came down the short side and I said that you wanted forwards to nominate. Then she had three forwards, which created that indecision from the Wasps defence, and just a brilliant pick by Scott to pick the right player. Unfortunately that's gone forward, but as we've just said, really harsh call, isn't it?
I love the little bunches coming out the back of Catlin's scrum cap as well.
She's got serious sass, that girl.
You happy to continue? It's a scrum. First thing's a scrum.
Good amount of time for both teams to reset here. Get everybody in together. You can see obviously Wasps are a little bit disjointed in comparison to Harlequins, who are all in one huddle.
Thanks,
They've got Rachel Burford in there, they've got Leanne Riley in there, so much experience, so great, as I mentioned, to see these players still involved, still giving their experience to their club teams.
Rachel Burford, one of the brainiest women's players out there, right?
Yeah, she really does know her stuff. She'll be well proud of this little cameo as well. So this will be all over Instagram later.
Yeah, she's also, for me, she's women's rugby's answer to James Haskell in terms of brand Burford.
She's done so well, hasn't she? Burford Academy really has taken off, and it's great to see someone like that do so well, as you said, such a stalwart in the game.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
Wasps then looking to try and be the side that get the next score. How crucial could it be? That's a really good counter run though by Harlequins. Weren't quite able to get themselves over the ball. Back inside for Muir. Might have been a touch forward about that one, but nothing doing. Now Waterman, look at that fend, left hand, straight to Abby Dow. Dow with work to do to stay in field. Just about manages to do so. Then McDonald was well scragged. Under plenty of pressure, McCormack thought she was going to get in there and cause a problem. Purdy, who was going to await the pass, had to go back in and help secure possession for Wasps, but they do now have it, and away to Clark. Then McDonald. Beltrowright, who was the player, down. Alice Sheffield with the carry. Now in for Goulden. Goulden switching in the middle with Dodd. Camera with the hit. Then the pass. Players calling forward, but Emily Scott isn't getting anything from out the referee. Camera again in there. Waterman just slipped Lucy Packer doing enough to thwart the former England fullback. Purdy, ball in one hand. Packer doing well to hold on to her ankles and stop her making any extra metres. McDonald.
No, thank you, one.
Brixton has to get herself back on side. Now they come round the corner. Alice Sheffield. Oh, she's going to break right through. One more to beat. Needed to be a good tackle at the back from Jade Mullen, and it was. But this is real front foot ball for Wasps through Louise Dodd. Kate Alder putting in the support as well.
Yes.
And
ladies,
Zoe Sainer is on the floor.
Okay.
And
just stay there for.
We've got a couple of players down here.
Behind the play. It will be your
We may have a knee injury to the left as well, or is it a bit of cramp? Rocky Clark is in there looking to offer her support.
It's going to be your scrum when we restart.
Tricky decision. Obviously, player welfare, the most important thing. Wasps would have really wanted to continue that momentum into the score.
Just a bit of cramp?
Yeah, really clever play again by McDonald. Just a little slight delay at the base of that ruck, which meant that the on-rushing Queen's defence had to go back. They were more worried about what the referee was saying than they were about the ball, and that's just created that split second for Sheffield to go through. Love to have seen her get over on her 100th cap.
Yeah, would have been quite the story, wouldn't it? Great rugby brain. Also, nickname is Salad.
Just had a quick check.
I was going to try and make up a really fun story about that, but
timing up
my banter's gone.
The context of the scrum half is good. Just be very careful. It's marginal.
Good cover defence as well.
I'm happy at the moment to just be
in the backfield.
For me. Yes, numbers, Fee.
And as you mentioned, really good to see player welfare.
Substitution, 1 and 2 substitution.
Yeah, Sainer is back to her feet, known as Giant. Had a really good season. Got capped for England a few years ago, but it's been doing well in terms of her carrying work rate. But now the changes are starting to be made. You can see Rocky Clark there with all her experience, making sure that she passes on the benefit of her experience to Beth Dainton.
Okay, ladies, what's
Sorry to Canny.
Marks there, girls.
Canny Adafamiwa Afilaka.
Good tactical decision, isn't it? Amy Cocaine coming on, new prop coming on, 5 metre scrum.
Yeah, Cocaine as well. Nearly missed that one. Oh, this is the break from the back. Sudden big hit from Sam McCarthy, doing just enough. Just at the right time. Wasp coming again. Oh, if they could have got that to the outside, it was surely a score. Cowell rolls herself out of there. Has taken a bit of a knock. Catlin with a big hit. Needed to make it.
Move tackle it.
Purdy into Edwards. Edwards happy to drive them back. Catlin there as well. It's in the hands of Jen Vick, who is one of the replacements for Wasps. Baltravite not held. Purdy again. Sainer with the hit. There's a lot of screaming going on as they find Kate Alder. Danielle Waterman tries to help her over, but look who it is under the ball once again for Harlequins. It's wants to make absolutely sure, which she does. Penalty is good. At a key point. Wasps 13, Harlequins 10. And what will be the call here from Harlequins? We've seen them go at 1 point straight down the middle.
You have 20 remaining.
There you go, confirmation from the referee that there are 20 minutes remaining. Emily Scott gets ready. Rubbers it along the floor. Wasps look to run it back hard into the heart of the Harlequins defence, give themselves the options.
Use it!
Back from McDonald.
Wait,
Goulden
in front, wait 6, wait 8.
gets a decent distance on that. It's gone in behind the back three. McCormack is there. Looks for the support. Follow-up tackle from Waterman is a good one.
Thank you.
And that will be exactly what the doctor ordered as far as Giselle Mather's concerned. That won't be though. Just Amy Cockayne giving away the penalty.
Danielle Waterman's such a good tackler, isn't she? One of the best in the game. Brilliant follow-up play as well by Amy Cockayne. Fresh onto the field, so she's got the energy to do the length. And really unfortunate there. The ref saying that her hands have gone beyond the ball before she's come back and scoops it up. So that's what the penalty's for.
4, sub, 4.
So change being made. Harlequins. Zoe Stainer
What's that to there, ladies?
will now leave the field, replaced by Sam
Go
Boyle.
to the ball, not the floor, yeah?
Or is it going to be Des McCormack?
She's number 5 coming off. Wait, ladies, wait.
Now they've been confused between 4 and 5.
See, that's 5 walking to you. Hold.
Probably because on the team sheet they are written the other way round. But it is McCormack who's leaving the field.
That's the correct clear. Thank you. Ladies.
Girls want to get on with it, don't they?
Absolutely.
The ref's trying to sort the subs out.
Well, the referee's making sure the right players left the field.
I think the assistant ref was even stood in the way and they were still going through with the lineup.
It's drifted over for Purdy to claim at the base.
Hold. 10.
McDonald. Cockayne. Goulden getting a little deeper to give herself more time to get the big clearance away. Now Quinn's come forward again through Mullen. That's the halfway line. Packer back in field. Good shift of the point of attack. On for McCarthy. Presents the ball for Packer once again. Muir getting back to her feet. Edwards. Does such a good job for Harlequins, Chloe Edwards.
Hold.
Up to the halfway line. Edwards will get there and provide the guard. Then again, Emily Scott looking for who was going to be the runner off her shoulder, and McCarthy was the choice in the end.
Never on ball.
Then it's away for Butler, who looks to give it away, but it's a good double hit on her from Wasps defensively. Valtravite, one of those in there. Ellie Green was well sized up by Louise Dodd.
Ball available. Ball available.
Emily Scott is there chatting away.
Penalty advantage, 16 black offside.
Cockayne has gone early in terms of getting off the line, so Twins have the advantage.
Penalty advantage,
How long will
ladies.
Nikki O'Donnell give them? Scott's gone with a shot to nothing to chip and chase after that. Oh, it might work for her. No Wasps have managed to pluck that out of the sky without Quinn's getting a hand on it, so we will come back for the penalty. And well, I think Amy Cockayne thought that ball was going to be quicker away from the base than it was, and she shot out.
Yeah, it's just coming off the bench. She just want to make some massive impact, doesn't she? She's had a few months out with her RAF training, so she's raring to go and so excited to be back on the pitch. Just over exuberant at the minute.
What's on the line?
Keen and keen.
Line's yours, ladies.
She's also rapid, so she might even be offside, but it just looks like she's not.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Ellie Green caught by Louise Dodd in that last play. Dodd, the 24-year-old, is a nurse in the army. A few services representatives out there on the field this afternoon. Of course, we mentioned Amy Cockayne, who is with the RAF. Not the easiest ball on the floor. But Wasps are dealing with the nuggety stuff quite well at the minute. Cockayne trying to set up Sheffield. She's had a bright game.
Tackle!
Finds the deck. Saina looks like she's taken a knock to the forearm a little there. Maud Muir. Turnover is good from Quinns. Vixton picks and goes straight into Baltravite, unable to make an immediate advantage around the corner of that ruck. Players having to deal with Pramp left, right and centre. One of them is McDonald.
Tackle!
It has been a fast-paced game and a physical one at that, as Catlin comes forwards.
Not now, 18, thank you.
Scott never looked like she was going to give that, and it was well read by the Wasp skipper Alder. Then Camera, good at turning and getting the offload away out of the contact. Khadija Camera. And that has sent Wasps back, but it's over the try line, and it will result in the 22.
22.
Good decision from Green to kick that for me. Just wanted it to just slow down just before the try line. It would have been an absolutely fantastic decision.
There for me.
But again, really good turnover. I want to see Quins moving this ball. As soon as they've got the turnover, the Wasp defensive line is really quite narrow. They need to get the ball out rather than have those couple of forward phases that gives Wasp time to reconnect, get their defensive line set and get people in the backfield.
Yeah, with Heather Cowell and Jess Breach on those flanks, that certainly needs to be where the ball goes, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Easy for us to say, of course. This is Deborah McCormack alongside Tash Bradshaw.
Great shift she's had this today.
Yeah, absolutely. Shade Munro will no doubt be putting a keen eye on McCormack's fitness. See if she can play a part in Scotland's Six Nations campaign.
Yeah, probably one of the reasons why she's come off early. Obviously, they named the wrong person in terms of coming off the field, and she was like, "No, this is me."
Yeah, absolutely, she knew, didn't she?
Zaina, come back. This is me. I'm going off. Let me rest.
Good luck, not you, mate.
Yeah.
Quins, water off. Water off. It's a 22 restart, gents. Yes. Number.
Chloe Edwards. She's had a really bright game for Harlequin. She
next stop, you can see.
Got one over on Hannah Bottoman, who seen as having a big future with England, but when Harlequins took on Saris, Edwards was all over Bottoman in terms of the scrum, gave her some real problems in that area.
Yeah, her scrummaging's really come on this last season. She's obviously given Rochelle Clark and Claire Purdy a bit of a run around there as well, and just in the loose she gets it through an unbelievable amount of work at most breakdowns, like she is there.
Packer through Green, then Scott propping up in midfield, then McCarthy. Can they get some room on the outside here? Quins keeping it alive to Catlin back inside. Camera just overrunning the support line, and Wasps looking to get control of it, but they come in the side. It'll be a penalty to Harlequins. Scott goes quickly herself. Abby Dow comes flying off the line, and they're going to try and stop them getting this to ground to force the turnover. But it's a penalty to Quins again.
On the 5, from the correct place if you wish to play quickly.
Interesting decision by Emily Scott there. She had Chloe Edwards on her shoulder, but she chose to go herself. Would have loved to see her just give the ball early, let Edwards have a massive run, a bit of a run up into them, see if they could stop her as we've just been bigging her up. But again, Catlin right on the ball. Jess Breach taking it quickly. Catlin and Kamara, at the moment, two of my players who lost in this game. Both there, both raring to go. Good decisions to try and get the offload off the floor as well. That was a try scoring opportunity.
Yeah, certainly was. Harlequins going for the scrum as well, not sensing a chance to try and go for a wide out penalty option. They back the forwards to put the pressure on in this area, and look at them getting the shove on. They've got a penalty advantage already with Fletcher. Can they go all the way? Will the referee deem it's rotated too far?
Loose head, not driving straight.
Oh, those are the ones that Packer just has to get the ball away on that. There was a shot to nothing, kick to score opportunity. You see it in the men's game so often.
Oh, I'm going to disagree. I think the forwards will have felt they had the chance to drive that one all the way over the line.
Nah, you've got to let it be pretty. Give it the back. Kick to score. Everyone wants to see that.
I'm a former 9 myself, so I'm always keen to see the backs have a run, but certainly Harlequins are showing a bit of intellect here in terms of the dominance the forwards have had, but they do have the likes of Jess Breach and Camera out in that backfield with Emily Scott. They were keen to get their hands on it, but look at this go forward from the Quins 8, and they kept it square this time.
No.
McDonald comes round.
No, it's just come up. Loose head and tight head have came up together. Resets in.
McDonald's not being drawn on anymore than it just needing a reset. Huge moment in the game this.
That's tough for me. Use it or reset for me. Quins was still driving through the mark, still driving forward. If someone else has popped up, if that's Wasp that have popped up there, yeah, then that needs to be a penalty. That needs to be called.
Well, it just looked like pressure, didn't it?
Really did, and especially as all of their bodies were still low driving through the mark. If I was Quins, I'd be really aggrieved at that.
Big moments for the likes of Sam Boyle onto the field there, looking to add some power through the blind side.
all good. Don't worry. Well, you know, I'd rather have it in
Clever play that by Amy Cocaine. Clever play. I think time just went off for her to do her hair. Just taking a minute for Wasps to reset themselves, get a breather, make sure that everyone's ready to go and reset again.
Little smirk on the face of Nikki O'Donnell as well. I think she well knew it. In from Packer, listen to the noise they're generating. Wasps have managed to hold that one pretty well, and Quins are going to have to use it, and it's not the tidy ball they would have wanted. Fletcher's had to pick. Wasps have to get out of there though. O'Donnell calls tackle, then Butler accompanying on the drive, then Quins will go back to the left side.
Thank you.
Edwards going low through Purdy. Edwards looking to try and go all the way, held up on the near side. Is the referee seeing it? The assistant has said it's short. Catlin goes for the line. We're coming back, and the referee's going to her pocket.
Stop.
It's against Casey Allen.
Did she not score that?
Well, I thought Catlin had got into the corner. Referee, I think, will have
I don't expect you to get involved off the ball, or it'll be reversed.
had a look at her assistant.
Back on the 5, ladies. Penalty, 4, offside.
We'll have a look in a moment if we get the time, but at the minute Harlequins had another decision to make. Fascinating how Wasps suddenly got a drive on and came back at them.
Yeah, absolutely, but if I was Harlequins now, I'd be scrumming down. Casey Allen yellow obviously, but I'd be scrumming down because they've had the ascendancy in the majority of this match, other than that last scrum. Now they're a number down. Looks like they've sent Dodd in to add a little extra bit of weight on the flank. She's just being coached through it now.
Well, you're going to want to do your best, and actually Wasps now are bringing on a bit more firepower. Kate Hallett into the action. Oh, that looks just short, doesn't it? The assistant's right on the mark. Officials doing a great job. So a bit more ballast added in terms of Wasps' front row. Kate Hallett brought onto the field. Been looked at in the Irish setup. Hallett, it's not tidy again for Quins. Fletcher's got an awful lot of work to do and comes up in the tackle of Sammy Graham. There's another penalty advantage. Wasps, will they be losing anyone else to the sin bin?
Okay, ladies, we're playing towards an injury. It was penalty advantage anyway. Time off.
Referee clear that
Penalty advantage,
the ball was coming back towards a player who's
your
down.
team's injured, so we'll wait.
And it's Catlin, I think, who's injured. This was the attempt at the score on the outside when they had the penalty advantage, but they were stopped just short.
Too many penalties at the scrum time here.
Famio Afilaka doing brilliantly to
now we've got one against the
just deny Catlin there.
Girls to work harder.
O'Donnell warns the front row of Wasps.
Yes.
You can hear Leanne on the ref mic as well. I'm sure she's doing that in earshot. Clever bit of play. That is such a tight decision. If she could get that on the end of her fingertips, that would have been a sure try. Brilliant decision to pick and go for it. One thing from me, I'd like to see Quins just keep the ball a little bit tighter at the minute. As they're picking and going around the corner, their ball presentation is really good, but because they're pushing it back so far, they're having to work an extra metre every single time because the ball's back at the edge of the ruck. If they can keep that a little bit tighter, it's just less work. It stays closer to the try line each time.
Well, Wasps are enjoying those moments when they're putting the bodies in to try and counter-ruck, aren't they? So I think they're trying to make it super hard for Wasps, but you're right, they've got to get that balance spot on. Plenty of pressure for Packer under Sammy Graham.
Penalty advantage.
Wasps are marching this one though. There's another penalty advantage. Are they going to go all the way? Stop short again. Ball presented by Fletcher. Packer looking to see where the opportunities might be. They go again. Short again. Edwards. Is Chloe Edwards over? Held up again.
No advantage.
Well, look at the faces of the two spectators at the back. They had the front row seats for that,
Back to the penalty.
and they seemed a little surprised that the call of held up was given. Certainly from what I could see.
Tight head.
There goes Edwards. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, that's a try.
That is a try. Harlequins very unlucky there. Referee unable to see the score going down from Edwards. Goodness. Quins will desperately hope they get their lines right here.
Sometimes you can tell by the reactions of players as well. And for me, all of the Harlequins players are jumping for joy at that one. So I really thought that was a sure try.
I thought you were talking to me then.
Amy Cocaine on the deck.
Happy?
Getting some treatment out of the physique bag. Well, this is the angle we've got the benefit of. O'Donnell, she only needed a little step to her right. If anything, you have to say it's great work by Mitchelson to make it look like it was held up. But Quins will feel aggrieved. And the rain is just beginning to arrive now. Just getting a little bit murkier. Here we go again then.
Let's go.
Scrum is the option chosen.
This is a huge moment. If Wasps manage to hold them out here, I'm sure they'll go on to win the game. Equally, Quins get this over, then there's a long way back from Wasps. They have had so much pressure. These are the moments that really count as players.
Big moment in the game, big moment in the Tyrrells Premier 15 season. Can Quins edge their way towards the try line as they managed a few times? Packer is half looking at going herself.
Penalty advantage 8 by
Breach has come in off the wing. There's another penalty advantage being played for Quins here. Fletcher, another extra role to present it for Butler. Butler goes.
Line Wasps.
Edwards is there. Can she get the score awarded this time if she makes it? This time she is short.
Away Wasps.
Quins pick and go again. They do keep the ball a little tighter.
Shot.
Now they go wider. Looking to try and send it through the hands. Ellie Green has spotted the chance to try and send Cowell in for the score.
No advantage.
But it's beaten everybody. We will come back again for the penalty. And Harlequins have got to try and get over the whitewash after all this pressure. You will feel, or the confidence will start to ebb.
So we've had 2 penalties against your loose head, 2 against your right head, and on that occasion your 8 is unbound early. I need a change in behaviour. Your team are limiting my
So you can see at the back there, Sarah Mitchelson has come up to have a look, and the referee.
I don't expect you to be asking for things, Captain.
Well, in fact, it was just as she detached there. The referee saying Mitchelson has come off the scrum early.
I think Quins are unlucky that another Wasp player isn't in the bin for that one. For me as well, I know advantage is coming and I love a kick to score, but Ellie Green has just got to keep that in hand. Go at them make a tackle, keep ball, you've got the advantage, you're always going to come back for that. Just keep holding the ball, keep building the pressure.
Sort of interpreted the penalty advantage in the shot to nothing sense almost too much, didn't she? Almost overplayed it.
Yeah, I think there were 3 or 4 Harlequins players unmarked outside her. All it needed was just a little bit of a straighten and a pass, and they'd have been in the corner.
Here we go again. Back to live pictures.
Use it, 8 change lanes.
So much pressure.
8 has changed lanes.
Packer's being told to use it. 8 has changed lanes. Couldn't get the ball away cleanly with Emily Scott. Scott trying to get through the tackle. Nearly managed to do so. Camera goes in to help provide support. Then Butler. She picked, sensing there was a chance to go round the short side, but Kate Alder was well positioned defensively. Players falling over the ball there. Route 1 through McCarthy. Can she find the ground again? Adafawima Afilaka gets herself out of there. Butler again. And McCarthy. Packer. Wasps have suddenly switched to the short side. Butler goes herself and gets the try. Wasp back line distracted by the running round and who the ball was going to go out to. And in the meantime, Chloe Butler said, while you're all looking over there, I'm going to try and sneak through. Wasps get the score, and that could be the game.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the whole minute. They are going to restart. You've just heard that on the ref mic. Take your time on the restart, Ellie Green. Brilliant bit of play. You saw all of the Harlequins flood the backfield, which made, as you said, it just distracted those Wasps defenders. And brilliant spot by Butler. Slight mismatch, little bit of footwork, dives in, makes the conversion even easier as well for Ellie Green.
Five.
Conversion is good from Green. There is time enough. Natasha Hunt, before the restart, a chance to discuss your
These 2 balls. Let's get rid of one of them
player
first.
of the match.
Yeah, for me, I think Golden's controlled the game really, really well from the 10 shirt. For Wasps, equally Alder and McDonald, that all stood up. Tempo's been great. A word for Caitlin on the Harlequin side. She has got through a serious ton of work and been very, very impressed with her. But Kamara, for me, defensively outstanding, work rate outstanding. She's stopped 2 tries. She's also been really, really great in attack. Every time she's carried the ball, she's got the offload away, and she has put in an absolute shift. My player of the match goes to her.
Well, big call now as Wasps get the penalty. It's not all over yet. Kick into the corner.
Interesting decision for me as well. Obviously, West has struggled to hit her lineouts. I know Amy Cocaine has come on the field, but it clearly looks a little bit windy over there. Wasps haven't hit a line out, I'm sure, in the second half. So for them to go line out rather than scrum, let's see if it pays off for them.
Ladies 10, ladies 10. Thank you.
Giselle May, the watch is on as Cocaine gets ready to get this right. There's a lot of movement in the middle, but it goes up for Sheffield and they try and set it. Quins have done well to bring that down. Dodd goes low. Now they get the move on. It's untidy ball for Muir. Packer, or Emily Scott it is, who goes in to make the tackle. Maud Muir presenting it. Then it's on for Mitchelson. Now away for Adefemiwa Afilaka. Into Vixton, who makes the tackle. Then away for Dodd. Big hit again from
12.
Camera.
You stay there, 12, let it come.
Then it's for Hallett.
Move 8.
They are making meters at Wasps. Are they going to reclaim victory with Kate Alder? Jess Breach doing her best to hold them up in that corner. Wasps reload again. Is it there for Graham? They're going to go route 1. Vixton does really well to turn Dodd back from where she came. Now they go again. Sheffield, little dance on the feet on her 100th cap. Camera with the hit. Now they go again. Wasps getting ever closer. Look at the numbers there, look at a pick and go. Camera is waiting to defend it. They're short, the bottom of the posts is there as well. Catlin doing her best to stay on side. Adefemiwa Afilaka is short. Now they try and go a little bit wider. Harlequins' defence is incredibly narrow here. If Wasp can get anyone on the wide outside, it's them with Hallett, who is driven back again. Now they're going to try and come back. It's shorter ball for Muir. She did really well to take that.
Off now, Quins, off now. Thank you.
Waterman looking to try and fend and make it happen. Now it's quick ball. Cocaine, has she got the chance to finish it herself? Amy Cocaine is just short. Cameron looking to get back to her feet. Ruck called again from the referee. Really good continuity from Wasps. We saw it from Harlequins down the other end a moment ago. The try now would win it for the home side.
Penalty advantage.
Muir is there. Now there's a penalty advantage, but Wasps know they need the try. Conversion won't help them at all. They've already got a losing bonus. They go again. Quick ball. Advantage is with them. Waterman.
Still penalty
netball
advantage.
pass over the top. Really good aggressive defence from Heather Cowell, and it will mean we have to come back for the penalty. Goodness me. Breathless stuff. at Twyford Avenue in the Tyrrells Premier 15s.
Thank you. 2 Quins not rolling.
Quick tap, they've gone. Sheffield not going for anything more than that. Hallett's there. Cocaine looking to go herself. How short is she? Oh, has it gone forwards? Yes, it has, says the referee, and that is the final whistle. Cheers from the visitors. An incredible result at Twyford Avenue. Well, Harlequins would have come into this knowing in theory they were in the senior position, obviously being second in the table. They were wary of how many players they were missing. Giselle Mather sensing the opportunity to turn them over, and it has gone right down to the wire. A sensational conclusion to the match. Wasps throwing absolutely everything at the visitors, but it has finished in victory for Gary Street and Karen Findley's team. What a sensational game. Wasps 13, Harlequins 17. Natasha Hunt, I'm only just getting my breath back.
My heart is pounding, obviously. That result, absolutely massive for Harlequins, massive for the league table. Wasps was so close, as Giselle mentioned in the pre-match, to creating their own destiny. If they managed to win here today, then they were pretty much in charge of what happened. Now they have to wait on other people, other results, and to see what happens. What a game. That's all you want to see is competitive games. Fantastic, absolutely loved it. Both teams putting their bodies on the line. Oh, just brilliant.
It was absolutely sensational. You have to feel for the home side, and of course that's why things have gone a little bit quiet here. But as far as Harlequins are concerned, well, I know speaking to Gary Street during the week, he backed these young players to be able to do the job, but there was certainly plenty of anxiety about whether they would be able to see out Giselle Mather's side, who really would have sensed that Quins were there for the picking. So testament to that young half-back pairing of Packer and Green, who kept things going and kept Quins on the front foot.
Yeah, they did. Just brilliant play, and all over the pitch people have stood up. McCormick had a great game. Catlin had a great game. Big carries for them. Edwards, fantastic carries. Obviously, she scored earlier, so it would have been really harsh if they hadn't have scored that final try through Butler, who again had another fantastic game. But just brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic play, and really was tipping in the balance the whole way through that game, which is games that I want to see, games I want to be a part of. So. Yeah. Fair play for Quins holding out for that win. Absolutely.
Well, we will get some post-match reaction from our Tyrrells Premier 15s player of the match, and hopefully some of the Harlequins coaching staff as well. What a nail-biter. Absolutely incredible. We will hopefully get some reaction in just a second, but Natasha Hunt can take you through the highlights from the second half.
Yeah, here we go. You've seen it time and time again, but what a fend, what a step, what acceleration from McDonald. Love the dive as well. You can see what it means to Wasps. Obviously, first try of the game, brilliant pick up off her bootlaces. Gives her opposite number a little bit of a nudge on the way through. Great game by her. Here we see it from a different angle. Just sheer determination on McDonald's face to get over that whitewash for her team. And Jess Breach, I mentioned it in commentary, but she was making up for that earlier fend, putting her hand up, saying sorry because McDonald had offended her, and what a finish this is from her. Clean set of heels, absolutely rapid, and gets it down with one hand as well. Really good awareness of her body, really good awareness of who is around. To transfer that ball as well, really difficult to do in the moment. Manages to transfer the ball, get her left hand fend out and drop them down. Here we go as well. So this was all of the pressure that Wasps had. Held up 3 times over the line. You can see Wasps in the huddle on the bottom corner as well. Kamara always in the action today. That is why she is my player of the match. Really aware, calling people in, manages to use her body, get underneath. Really quite difficult to do as well when you've got 3 players latching onto each other. Obviously the power that generates. you can see what it means to the team as well. See what it means to the team in the background after this is held up. Butler, again, massively influential for Harlequins in this game. Holds up another try, scores the winner later in the game. Here we go, Danielle Waterman's lovely pass into the corner for Abby Dow. Timing of the pass, so important. Really good skills, spatial awareness to see that Jess Breach has just slightly turned the shoulders on the inside. Really difficult to do, stay square, straighten up. Fantastic timing. And that was all the action from the first half. Obviously the sun was shining into the second half. Bit duller. Kamara again, another hold up. See Danielle Waterman again involved. Kate Older, who had a fantastic game. There you see Davina Catlin really close to that try. Just needed to get it onto her fingertips. But Quins didn't panic. Reset the scrum time and time again. Chloe Edwards, fantastic finish there, leg drive, really influential for Harlequins, but unfortunately got called as held up for the Harlequins team. And here is the team in the backfield. You see all of Harlequins rushing around, see the space, and Chloe Butler, brilliant pick. Slight mismatch. Golden, she's run over, who had an absolutely unbelievable game as well. So many players stood up today for their teams. Here you go. Sees the overchase, sees people folding around the outside, just takes that pick. Aussie international, knows where she's heading, straight for the line. Fantastic action from both teams, really impressive game. We've got Nick down at pitchside with some post-match reaction.
Well, thank you, Mo. Yes, delighted to be down here with our player of the match, Tyrrells Premier 15th player of the match, Khadija Kamara. Khadija, an amazing match. Congratulations. You must be delighted with the result.
Yeah, I'm so proud for the result. I'm so proud with the team because we made really hard work with girls. And, you know, I'm coming from France, so my beginnings here was a little bit hard. I started with Wasps, and after I moved with Queens in September, and I'm just happy because they give me my chance, and Tyrrell is an amazing championship, so I'm so proud, and thank you for...
Oh, you're very welcome. I mean, absolutely incredible. You put your body on the line out there. There were two, maybe three opportunities where Wasps tried to score. It was your body underneath it.
Yeah, you know, I used to be flanker before, so yeah, I put all my body on it, and yeah, I'm so proud today of everyone of the team, and now I can say I'm center in Tyrrell, so it's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, perhaps having come from Wasps and now playing for Harlequins, a little opportunity to show them what they've been missing.
Yeah, of course, yes. So, I'm sorry, it's emotional. So
no, it's great.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity. So I didn't want it to pass through this game, and I gave my best shot.
You certainly did. Well, listen, we really enjoyed witnessing it. Let's bring in the award that we have for you, which is a number of Tyrrells crisps for you. You are our Tyrrells Premier 15th player of the match. Khadija Kamara, many congratulations, fully deserved.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you go and join your teammates.
Thank you.
But thank you, Khadija.
Amazing girl, and it's an amazing club. Thank you very much.
Good. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. An emotional Khadija Kamara there. Speaking to Gary Street during the week, it was amazing to hear him talk about Khadija, who is a player that will put her body on the line. I think he said sometimes at the risk of her own safety, but defensively, absolutely key in what Harlequins were doing out there to stop Wasps right on the line. I think that's just about it as Amy Cockayne makes her way off behind me. A really tough outing for Wasps in the end. They gave absolutely everything with a real expectation that they'd be able to turn over this Harlequins side, but the young side doing just enough. Thanks very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage this afternoon here of the Tyrrells Premier 15s. We've got plenty more live streams coming up for you, of course, between now and the end of the season. But, well, the business end of this competition is certainly looking lively as ever. From all of us here, it's a very good afternoon.